Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hey, I'm going to talk about Dario Daniels this morning. He was a friend of mine. This was a tragic incident that happened in Alaska during my time living there. Dario Daniels, please look it up, Google it, Alaska. He lived in a town called Girdwood, which is a ski area town. It's really the only ski resort in Alaska. And basically he did tours, dog sled tours up on a glacier, and they would helicopter the people up just like they did for me in my hiking trips up to the glacier, and Dario would take them around on the glacier in a dog sled. He had employees up there. They had about 70 dogs up there, and it was a summertime dog sledding tourist thing for people. Now Dario moved to Alaska when he was pretty young. I think he was probably 19. You can Google it. I'm probably wrong on his age. But he moved to Alaska and kind of started his own life from Germany, Austria and Germany. And he came over and just started getting into dog mushing. He got hired with a guy named Joe Reddington, who was a classic old Iditarod dog musher. Anyway, we won't get into the sport of dog mushing, but Dario was a star. I mean, he moved up fast. And he did the Iditarod. He didn't win. But anyway, I met Dario on the glacier. I met Dario on the glacier that I worked on outside of Seward. I did glacier hikes with people. You know, they would helicopter up and I'd take them out for a 4-hour walk. Dario did the dog mushing over on another glacier. We shared the helicopter. Anyway, and a real quick story is Dario saved me once, me and my clients, and we were up in the helicopter up high on the glacier, and the clouds dropped in and we were stuck. And usually they lift, but they weren't lifting. And so these people are like, hey, we got to catch the cruise ship out of town. Anyway, Dario came up with a dog team from the lower part of the glacier, got those people and took them down to the lower part of the glacier. Not me, I stayed up. And then down there, they had better weather, and another helicopter could come in and pick them up, get them back to town. And eventually we got out that day too. It was no big deal. But anyway, Dario was, after that day, me and Dario were like this, you know, he's kind of saved me that day. And years later, I was like, I wonder what happened to Dario. We all kind of went our own ways. My company shut down in Seward. The helicopters got sold to Big Oil and went down to Louisiana. And so I'm like, I'm gonna look up Dario, and I look him up, and I found out he was missing, and then that story went on, and what happened was, you know, he lived in Girdwood, and he was known for taking really good care of his dogs, and he was just a star at that. People loved him for that. He was a dog lover. Something happened. We don't know what happened to this day. He just started being a little more alone, reclusive, spending time in Anchorage, hanging out at a bar and going to watch movies and just stuff out of character for Dario. And somebody went to check on his dogs, and his dogs hadn't been fed in a few days, and cops were looking for him because, you know, he was neglecting his dogs. It was a weird thing going on. Now, somebody sort of instigated this stuff against Dario, some of the like abuse stuff that wasn't really true. I know this. And so the police were kind of after Dario for stuff that he wasn't responsible for. So as time went on, you know, somebody took the dogs, everybody cleaned out Dario's house. He was just gone. And then one afternoon, somebody said, hey, they found Dario. They found Dario hanging in a tree in Anchorage, hung himself. And right now, as I sit here telling you that, it makes no sense. If you're watching this and you knew Dario, or you were in the dog mushing scene, or Girdwood, or lived in Alaska, and you know anything about this story about Dario and who might have had something against him, please leave a comment or email me, because like David Benfer, I'm looking into this one. This was a friend of mine, Dario Daniels. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Become part of this community, And I'm not looking for Dario. I know he's gone. But I'm kind of curious as who had something against him so much, because he wouldn't hang himself. We all know, everybody knows Dario most likely wouldn't hang himself. But you never know what's going on in somebody's head. Thanks, you guys. See you in the next one.